Hey guys, it's Gina here, and it has been a while since I actually posted on my YouTube channel because I have been really busy. Any other musician knows how busy it is towards the holidays. I have a food bank concert tonight, one next week. I've got my students' recital coming up, got so many things on the go. But I've been thinking about the holidays and I've been thinking about keto or staying true to your eating style that you do. Um, and actually, I might just bring this around with me while I do some stuff in here because there's lots to do. But, okay. So, what I've been thinking too is how can you stay committed to your eating style or your health style through the season? I'm going to do something. I'm going to turn on the light just because. Look at that. Anyways, okay. So, this is one of my big things is people go, oh my land, how am I going to do vacation, the holidays? And I have a very firm belief that you should have an eating style that you don't have to take a vacation from. There's nothing wrong with treating yourself to something, but feeling like you are lacking so much that you want to, like, how are you going to navigate through the holidays or how are you going to navigate through anything like that? And for me, your eating style, unless you're doing a quick fix, no matter what you're doing, I don't care if you're doing like Weight Watchers, keto, whatever. Keto is such a huge blow up right now and people are using it for a quick fix for losing weight, and I'm a little iffy on that just because you're taking your body and you're training it from its main source of fuel, which would have been carbs and sugar for probably your whole life, and taking and turning it into a fat fueled state, ketosis, which is great. It's awesome. Your body runs really well if medically you can in that state, but then you're just bring it back to a carb state. So I don't know. For a quick fix, I'm not really into it, but let's think lifestyle because I do keto and low carb as a lifestyle. And I've been low carb now for over 10 years and I've been keto for 2 years almost now. And if your lifestyle, if what you're doing on a daily basis isn't something that you can do for a lifestyle and maybe take and navigate through vacations and through stuff with it. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have times where you might eat something. That's fine. But it shouldn't be something that you want to escape. Like a lot of people I find, they're like, it's the holidays, I'm just going to binge all out. That's just not a healthy mentality. So if so, keto might not be for you. And there's nothing wrong with having that one binge, I suppose. But no, this is my personal experience, and that's all I'm speaking from. But my personal experience is if I was to go and take a whole bunch of sugar, whereas I am literally a recovering sugar addict. And I know a lot of people think that sugars cannot be addictive, but I'm here to tell you that it really was a huge addiction for me. Sugars and carbohydrates. Even natural sugars, fruits, that kind of stuff, very, very much a trigger for me. Very. Now, I might be made a little different than you guys. Not, if there's one thing that I've learned about medical or dietary needs and everything, is that everybody is so different. Trust me, I've actually found that out through my physio and my back and everything that we do with it. But for me, if I was to go and binge on all the sugar and all the sweets, I would be in trouble. Like my insulin sensitivity would not be under control. Insulin resistance, I guess I should say. Yeah, that just wouldn't be good for me. So I actually literally have no desire to do that. There's so many keto options for having treats over the holidays and that. And yes, if you're somewhere where you can't get that, then yeah, I guess it's a little bit harder, but I don't know. I just really, really feel very strongly about trying to navigate yourself around this and making it an actual lifestyle. If you think of someone who goes vegan or vegetarian, they'll go to somewhere, but they won't eat meat, right? I mean, that's because that is their lifestyle. And nobody actually expects them to eat meat. Some people might be like, well, you should eat meat. I mean, I'm obviously the opposite of that because I eat meats and proteins and high fat and very, very low carb. But for some reason, I think we find it very difficult to say that we won't eat that. But I've never had a problem with saying that I won't eat pasta, I won't eat bread. If people serve a meal with chicken and vegetables and everything, I will take the vegetables, I will take the chicken. I will put some extra butter or oil on something. I will have a salad with an oil-based dressing, something like that. But anyways, navigating through things, first of all, I guess my first thing is that if you actually feel like you have to, or you're looking for the holidays because you want to binge out on things, I think that might be a problem. because that's you're gonna feel like crud first of all after you do it. But second of all, I don't know if that's a healthy mindset. It's kind of like that restrictive dieting when we used to restrict calories, and you have that one meal a week where you could just eat anything you want, and you would binge on all the ice cream and everything, or go for the big Chinese buffet and everything. But then you feel so bloated and so nasty after. But I guess it depends on what you're doing keto for. I do it for weight loss, weight maintenance, and for healing of my hormones. So for me, it's just not a thing that I have any intention of doing, is to go crazy on like the potatoes and the dressing, to go crazy on the chocolate unless it's like 99% lint or something like that. Um, but yeah, so navigating the holidays, I realize for some people can be really, really hard. For me, and this is just my personal thing, I actually haven't had any problem with sugar cravings for like a year now, which is like seriously amazing. You have no sweet clue how amazing that is. Like when I was younger, I used to steal chocolates from my mom's cupboard while she was sleeping on Sunday afternoon. We had to take a nap after church. I'd get up and I would literally like just load the Mars bars into me. I'm not even joking. This is sad but true. Like I have been a complete sugar addict my whole entire life. So for me, that's just I compare myself to like an alcoholic. You're probably not going to give an alcoholic a drink when they've gone through AA and they're not drinking anymore, right? So same thing with a heroin addict. You're not going to give them a little bit of heroin. Just I might not be a good comparison for some people, but for me it really is a good comparison because it really does trigger something in me. So let's talk though about navigating through the holidays. Let's just say you are going to someone's place, and I'm hoping you guys can see me because I'm going to actually move. With my back problems, I'm always having to move around, so hopefully this will work. Anyways, when you're talking about navigating through the holidays and everything, guys, I think, oh, look at that. I've got a little snowman set up here who is holding this, so hopefully you guys are getting me in it. Anyways, navigating through the holidays, I say be prepared. So if you're going to a family's place, and let's just say a lot of times you bring something with you, like a potluck style, if you are doing that, bring something that you know that they would enjoy but is keto, or something that is on the lower carb part of it. Or plan, if you're going to have your turkey or your chicken or whatever you have at Christmas time, and you are going to have, let's just say you want to have some of the potatoes. Do it for that one meal. It's almost like a carb up, but then after, go right back into keto, okay? I wouldn't tell you to indulge in everything because that might be a little bit too much for you, but bring keto stuff. There's so many alternatives. Like if someone's doing mashed potatoes, or if you're supposed to bring potatoes to something, bring some mashed potatoes or bring potatoes, but maybe bring like mashed cauliflower. Do you know what? It's so good that I think even a lot of non-keto people would like it. Same with keto cheesecake. You can do that. A keto cake. Salads, bring the vegetables that you can do. Next week, we have a big gathering after our concert at one of the bandmates' homes, and so everybody brings something, right? So I wind up bring things I can eat. So I bring like salads. I bring deviled eggs, chicken, cheese, like good whole foods that everybody else eats too anyway. So it's not like this weird like just chia seed pudding or something like that. You know, it's not something weird. It's something that's delicious for everybody. So I encourage you to do that. Yeah, anyways, you could do that. If you're going to someone's place and they're having the full course meal, there's nothing wrong with passing on the potatoes, you know, like, or the fresh rolls, unless you really, really, really want one. I say if you really want one, and that will actually, there's something about food that's very, you know, you associate food a lot of times with family functions and different things. So I don't think there's anything wrong when your grandma makes her fresh bread and it's at Christmas time and you're at her place and it's one time. You know what? There's something about that sometimes very family oriented food, family, the whole 9 yards getting together. Do it, but then just go back. You know, you don't have to make a big production of it. You can do it if you want to, or you can not do it. Anyway, so navigating through the holidays, I don't think it's that difficult unless you're on the road all the time. I think that could be a problem or a little harder to do. I know one thing that's helped me with navigating through certain meals is I do carb ups once a week. And I've considered doing them twice a week with like paleo food. So that would be with like potatoes or sweet potatoes, stuff like that, right? And I tend to use sweet potatoes. So at Thanksgiving, I used that as my carb up meal. And I had some sweet potato. I had a little bit of squash, I think. I had some cabbage. I had salad. I had meat. I just went lower on the fats and higher on the carbs for my meals. So there's so many options, guys. And one of my big things too is just you can navigate very wisely through it if you prepare. If you go in not knowing what you're going to do, then that's going to be a hard thing, especially if you are a sugar addict like me and you're used to having sweet in your diet and you're there and you didn't come prepared with even like a little keto treat or something for yourself, which you could bring your own keto treat. It's a treat. It's not anything different than someone who has a special, like, let's just say they can't eat gluten and they bring something in place of it. So, or like I say, a vegetarian and they happen to bring something else to go along with their meal. I don't think that's a bad thing. I never take that as a bad thing if someone does that, if they come to my place and that. I've had people do that before. So anyways, guys, I think navigating around the holidays is really about making just smart choices and being prepared. I'm a huge prep person. Personally, I am. I actually take and, whoops, that's the wrong thing. I do up my meals for the week just so I know what I'm having. But yeah, just be prepared. Allow yourself some grace over the holiday season too, because if you want to, you can actually take and like have a sweet or two. Just know that if you've been keto for a while without that in your system, you're probably going to feel quite bloated the next day and a little bit gross. Here's an example. A few years ago when I was just low carb, so I wasn't keto, but I was very low carb. I hadn't eaten anything pastry-wise or bread or anything. I was off bread and potatoes and all that completely. Anyways, so I went to play for a wedding in the city, and it was a wedding, trying to think of what type of people. I'm trying to think. They make really, really good food with feta. Not Greek, Lebanese. There we go. It was a Lebanese wedding. I just couldn't remember exactly what the food was, but I decided that night to go all out. They had like, I don't know what they're all called, but the pastries filled with like the cheeses, and they had like hors d'oeuvres like crazy. And I said, okay, this is my night. I'm just going to do whatever. Now, mind you, because I have a very addictive personality and I have a hard time doing it, I went crazy. And I probably shouldn't have went as crazy as I did because I felt really bad the next day. But I had all of the pastries and everything, and then I ate like the desserts. I had like a tiramisu type thing. They had all this stuff. I went crazy. And not only had I eaten more carbohydrates and that I had probably in like years in one sitting, I mean, it was a massive amount. I just went crazy because I have a hard time stopping when I start. That's why I don't start. But anyways, so not only that, I literally overate. I was so full and I just wasn't feeling good. But I was like, I had this mentality that I was just going to do it all because this is my chance. But I don't think that's healthy either, right? See, that's why I don't actually indulge in things, because I have a really hard time stopping. So yeah, anyways, it was very interesting. But the next day, and guys, I'll be honest with you, I don't drink. I have had a few glasses of wine, probably like 8 years ago to try, and I didn't care for the taste of it. I never had enough to do anything to me. It was a very small amount in a glass, and I was always eating with it. But I didn't enjoy it, so I just stopped. But what I experienced the next day after this huge carb intake and sugar intake, I just had it all, was what I'd compared to a hangover. Oh my word. I woke up the next day. It was a Saturday night. I drove home for 2 hours, and I had the worst headache of my life. Like, it almost felt like a hangover of what I just felt gross. Like, I didn't feel sick to the stomach or anything, but the worst pounding headache all day. It was bad. It was really bad. And someone said, yeah, Jeannie, you had a carb like hangover because your body's not used to that. So if you do happen to go all out, don't be surprised if you feel pretty yucky the next day. Doesn't mean you can't get right back on the train, but I suggest to just pick and choose. If you're going to treat yourself to something that isn't keto or something that's high carb or high sugar, just be prepared that you will have, this kind of stuff happen. But anyways, navigating yourself through holidays, birthdays, all that kind of stuff. I really, really feel that people need to make it a lifestyle and learn how to navigate. And I think the longer you do it, the more you'll learn how to navigate. When I first started hardcore keto, I was first of all doing it wrong for my body. I went too crazy on everything. But I actually was like, oh my land, I can't eat it with somebody because it might not have this, it might have this. I'm much more chill about that now. You just make the best decisions you can and just enjoy the holidays. I said about a year ago, I would have freaked out over food, and now I don't. I'm just like, whatever. I just eat what I can, and I tend to be prepared and bring something, and well, if I do have a few extra carbs in the day, it's not going to kill me, so I'm good to go. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to share this video with you guys. I hope everybody has a great holiday. it's going to get busier and busier for me as I go from now on. So I just thought I'd post this now. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I may or may not have time before Christmas to post another video. But if I don't, I hope this helped you to be able to navigate the holidays a little better. Pick up some cookbooks if you need to. Look online. Listen, Google is your friend for any kind of keto recipe that you want. You all know I don't do sweetener because that's what I choose to do for my body, and because it does trigger me, even if it is something like stevia, it triggers me. So I don't do any sweetener. So I think that's why I don't crave sweeties either, because I literally have no sweet in my life unless I have sweet potato for my carb up meal and some berries or something. But that doesn't even trigger me the same way that sweetener does. So anyways, but just go look. There's so many different things that you can do, guys. There's so many, and use whole foods as much as possible. I don't like using processed foods for things. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. I've got to get ready. I've got still a few things to do before I go for the concert tonight. Busy season. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great one, and we'll chat with you guys later. Bye.